What's up, y'all? What's up?
What it do?
Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the season finale.
Whoop, whoop.
Woo, we made it. We would introduce these two men next to us, but they already been on a couple of episodes. So you already know this bae, Randy, this bro, but you can go ahead.
I'm going to introduce my bae because he has not been a guest yet. Have you?
What?
You the boss. Nope.
Really? On the man virgin. The man.
Oh, you know what? Start
Yeah.
over.
You was so, no, it's okay.
I'm just going with it. You in charge.
I absolutely forgot about that. This is my bae, my poo, my hubby. This thing.
I like that. Give me some.
Can you introduce me? Can you introduce me again? Can you introduce me? Thank you. I appreciate it.
Now I gotta reintroduce him. I already introduced you. We had a whole episode
You gotta
together.
introduce me.
Okay, so since he's feeling some type of way, this is
I'm not.
this is Bae, this is Zaddy, this is Big Zaddy. This is my husband, okay? You're so irritated.
Big dog. They call me Big dog.
Big dog. Woo.
Yeah. You heard it?
Okay. You're so irritated. Okay, so me and TT, you know, we kind of got to share mic. So if you see us scooting back and forth, we don't got time for that, okay? We lost the other one. You know, we gonna get there one day, though, okay? But this is a real transparent podcast, okay? So we brought the fellas on today, y'all, for the season finale of Broken Now Revived. And we gonna be talking a little something about the company we keep. And it don't even have to necessarily be in your marriage. It's just the company you keep overall. But first, before we get started, just want to know how y'all people doing out there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with a friend. But gentlemen, how y'all feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good. Today it's been a good day. Relaxing. I got to get a lot of stuff done around the house.
Okay.
We had a good dinner before we came.
It was
Okay, what y'all
delicious.
eat? And then your voice a little low, so I'm gonna scoot that up.
We had a good dinner before we came.
What y'all eat today?
Testing one, testing no. We had some salmon, some barbecue chicken, some macaroni and cheese.
Oh.
We had some salad. You know, when you got kids, you kind of got to
Yeah.
do what they want to.
Oh, yeah.
So we mixed it up a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who cooked? Him. I should have known.
They cooked.
That was a dumb question, huh?
No, shit.
When you said salmon, I'm like, I know that.
Oh, yeah,
cooked
yeah,
that. But that sound good. Some salmon and barbecue chicken.
Yeah. I cleaned the house today.
Yeah.
And Bae cooked, and I helped with homework, and he helped with the baby. So
Okay, period.
that's tag team.
And today was a math day, so it was all on her for the homework because our son would have been in trouble.
Right, don't it feel good to share that responsibility?
Yeah, it feel amazing.
Yeah, like these men be in the kitchen, okay? They be cooking and cleaning and keep cleaning and cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say something else.
No. You were so funny.
Just making sure.
But how you doing, boo?
Give honor to God who's the head of my life,
Okay.
to my pastor. Man, I'm doing pretty good. I worked today. Got a lot done. I'm kind of tired, too.
Yeah.
Kind of tired,
Yeah.
Overall, I'm blessed and highly favored.
You were so irritated.
You play too
I thank
much.
God. I thank God.
It don't help that it's dark outside already and it's not even 7 o'clock. So
Exactly.
it's easy just to feel tired,
Yeah.
Yeah. But how
Definitely
you doing?
irritating. I'm doing good.
That's good.
Thanks for asking. I was a little tired, but I actually got some energy. I think my vitamins kicked in. So.
Fine.
What-
Auntie got to stay on vitamins.
Right.
I need
I took
those.
B12 because my energy be a little low sometimes.
Yeah, B12 do work.
Yeah, and some vitamin D because Auntie bones be hurting.
Vitamin D definitely work, huh?
You're so annoying.
What?
But
Y'all okay?
how are you?
Oh, y'all some nails. Take that to somewhere else.
That's him.
Broken now revived.
How you doing, sister?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good.
That's good. That's good, y'all. Hopefully y'all can hear us good. Me and her, okay? Because you talk a little less, so, but I'm trying to like share, not like hoggy.
These are high quality mics, if y'all can't tell, so they should be able to hear good. I mean, y'all don't see
Okay,
this?
good.
I mean, this is the Broken Now Revive. Don't-
Okay,
we ain't
come
gonna
on.
sleep on this.
Come on,
Tell you,
stop,
and
man.
if they can't hear, they better get their hearing aid.
Cut your volume up. It's not
Turn
us.
the mug on up.
Okay.
It ain't us.
Period.
It ain't us. I promise you that.
All right. I guess I'm trying to figure out like how we're going to start this off. So we, I guess we just go right into the conversation. I guess
So what we talking about today?
the company we keep. But I did say it before it was like before we get started how everybody doing. So
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, the company we keep. So we gonna have TT kick us off with this topic.
Okay, so my thoughts with the company that we keep is I just feel that whoever you have around in your company plays a big role on how far you go. So I do feel like you can have people that's around you that can push you, that can challenge you, and then you can also have people that is around you that can bring you down, that can keep you in a comfortable space. And sometimes the company that's around you don't always want to see you soar because they don't want to soar. You know what I'm saying? So I do think I'm learning, even as raising children, it is important for me to watch and monitor even what the company my kid is keeping. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we gonna kick this thing off. Babe, what's your thoughts?
I think the company you keep is so important as it relates to just your well-being, how your energy is throughout the day. I think the company you keep is, I would say, if I relate it to me, like, does it align with Thad's core values? Are you an individual that is toxic, always got something negative to say? Because a lot of times, the people that you hang with, they say birds of a feather flock together. It's cliche, but it's so true. If you're always with people who, as an example, are always depressed or they always have issues, it kind of starts bleeding into you, and then you start either having those issues or you're picking up on their characteristics. You're picking up on their spirit. Just the other day, somebody had called me, and my wife asked me today, "Did you call that person back?" Nope, I didn't. I didn't want to talk to the person. It was nice that they called, and if it was important, they would have sent a text message. But most of the time, when this individual calls, it's the same old, same old. For me, I just don't have the energy to deal with what you're dealing with right now. And it's not saying like you don't matter, but I got to protect my own peace. I have to protect my own inner man. I have to protect my own spirit. So for me, I'm just not always interested. I think big picture, when you really think about it, I want to be around people that are going to help me grow. I want to be around people that are going to fuel my spirit. And I feel like it's a two-way street. We reciprocate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Because you do got to be mindful of the people you have in your space. Like, it's okay to not answer a phone call. Because it's like you may not be in that season where you able to take on people problems and burdens, especially when you know that person always complaining. And I do not like to, you know how they say, like, one rotten apple will spoil the whole bunch. And when people are like, it's okay to be there for people during their seasons of when they're down. But, like, when they have that, when they carry the spirit of depression and then sadness and they just full of problems and sadness, it's like you spoiling the moment, like you spoiling a good time. And like, it's a time and place for everything. So I definitely know, like, if somebody's around you with that, like you said, you will start picking up like those characteristics or those behaviors. Because I remember in school, middle school, it's so dumb, but I'm about to embarrass myself a little bit. Somebody in the class used to make this dumb noise. But it was so funny. You'll be quiet, you doing a test, next to know you hear and then I start picking that up like I would just start picking it up. I'll be at home at nighttime when it's quiet. I'll be like
What?
I know, and I'm like,
do that.
I did, and it's like like now I'm picking up these people behaviors and what they are doing because I'm around these people all the time, and you don't even realize you start picking up their slang and you know everything.
That is true. Because I remember one time when I worked in the hospital, I was so upset because my manager ended up coming to me and she pulled me to the side, and I had started to connect more with some of my coworkers. But she had ended up pulling me to the side and she was like, Sanicia, what is going on with you? All of a sudden, she said you was separated and you was a light. Now all of a sudden you looking like them. And I was so upset with her at the time because I'm like, who is you coming up in my face trying to tell me something? But in reality, what she telling me is, girl, at first, you was a light, you was shining, you was set apart, but I don't know what's going on, but you looking a little different.
Yeah.
You know, like, so I appreciate now when I look back, somebody who can come and say, hey, you ain't being yourself. I think you hanging around the wrong people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you was more smiley, you was more happy, jolly, in good spirits, more positive and optimistic. And now all of a sudden you getting a little negative.
Yeah.
You getting a little gossipy. You get what I'm saying? Like, and you will if you're not careful. And that's the thing. Sometimes we think we more stronger than the people we around.
Oh, that's
and
good.
sometimes you really don't even realize the effect that they have because you looking like them now.
Right.
You ever been in a house that stank and all of a sudden because you sat there so long, you become immune to that smell? You don't even smell it no more.
Right.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
So I think it's the same thing because when you around people so long, you don't no longer see that as an issue.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I think that's something you just kind of got to be mindful about.
Yeah.
But I think too, you said you be around them and you become immune to it. But I think one part that's true, in addition to that, is you start stinking because you're not only immune to it, but you're picking up whatever it is that's going on in that home or that environment that you're in. And I think even if you think about marriage, I mean, we're all married here. A lot of times, even with the company that you keep, one thing that me and TT did was. In our church that we go to, it was important to us to surround ourselves around married people. There's nothing wrong with hanging out with single people when you're married and vice versa, but I think there's only certain things that married folks supposed to do. You know, there's only certain things that are appropriate for us, especially according to the word, according to scripture. So we wanted to be around people who are married. We wanted to start picking up some of those characteristics, gleaming. My wife had me come to shout out to Pastor Monk and Lady Monk. We went to one of their marriage enrichment sessions, and it was so refreshing just to hear other stories for other married people to share what they go through. And it's like they dealing with the same thing we dealing with. You know, we're not alone. And a lot of times it's the company that you keep. When you dealing with stuff, and then you start talking to single folks. You don't need that. You ain't got to be with her. You ain't got to be with him. And next thing you know, you start developing that mindset versus being around people that's going to better you, that's going to strengthen you, that's going to say, hey, y'all better than this. We got to pray or whatever that is.
Yeah, because the rules is different from boyfriend and girlfriend and husband and wife.
Yeah.
So what applies to a boyfriend and girlfriend don't apply the same for a marriage.
Yeah.
So I think that's too why you got to be careful, like when it pertains to that, because you don't got to put up with him. He only a boyfriend or she only a girlfriend. You don't have to.
Yeah.
But in my marriage, I do supposed to fight.
Yeah.
I do supposed to forgive. I do supposed to have grace. And you get what I'm saying? Be patient with my spouse and different things like that. So your mindset is different.
Yeah.
So I think that is what makes it where it comes that line. You get what I'm saying? Because the mindset, there is a difference. Like, of course we can hang out because we all people, but I don't know how much advice I can take from somebody who never been in this situation.
Yeah, that's good. You over here quiet. Did you want to add anything?
Oh, man, I'm just still in the presence of the Lord.
That's a good place to be.
Yeah. Well, no, I feel like y'all saying, you know, the company you keep, you know, it's like, even if they messy, you know, you're going to come out messy too. So, it's best to, stay to yourself sometimes. I mean, even the company you bring into your house.
That's real.
Everybody can't come into your house.
Right.
Oh,
Because it's like, you never know. The vibes might be off. It's just best to just, stick to what you know.
You were so funny. I'm gonna go ahead and use your mic since you barely want to talk. So
Go ahead, let the Lord use you.
I know, like with TT, like you were saying, like what your teacher said, like what's going on. I remember in high school, all I did, I had Facebook, and all I did was like talk about God on my statuses, and everything like that.
What happened?
But then I started hanging around the wrong people. And it was nothing that I particularly did. I did try to fit in. That's when I tried to drink on prom night. Couldn't even swallow the liquor. And I was trying to like fit in a little bit. And then I remember one day this girl who I was hanging with, she was like, Jocelyn, you used to always talk about God on your post, and now you don't even write, like say nothing about him. She said, am I a bad influence on you? I hope I'm not. And I was like, no. She was like, okay, I'm just wondering, because I remember you used to always do this and you no longer do. So she's like, I'm just hoping I'm not a bad influence. But in my mind, I'm like, dang, like since I have been hanging around you and your crew, I have started to transform to be different. Now it's like I'm becoming like my environment.
Yeah.
And if I was to hang with those people longer, I probably would have been exactly like them. But it was small changes that I was starting to transition to. Even at a job I worked at, like I was becoming messy. And he can testify. And I'm like, I was super messy when I left that job. I ended up getting fired. But when I left, I was like, I kind of see why I feel like God snatched me out of that, because my character was beginning to change. I'm like, now it's like I'm somebody who I don't even recognize. And I'm like, if I would have stayed around that crowd, I just would have been this messy woman,
Yeah.
So and I'm like, I'm not a messy person. But when I look back, I was like, ooh, I was gossiping bad and talking about people just being real messy.
Because I think too, you have to adapt to the environment in order to exist in it.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Like you gotta blend in some kind of way with what you're around in order to relate to them, to connect with them. I remember even like before I really got serious with God. Like when I was the guys that I was talking to, they was worldly men. And I remember I was so ghetto. Like super ghetto.
Really?
But I would listen to Lil Wayne, Lil Boosie, Young Jeezy. Who did I not listen to? Lil Webby. Like I was listening to all this hardcore rap, but then when I got by myself, I was listening to R&B, or I would put on a little gospel. But when I was around them, like I was in who I really was. It was when I completely disconnected from them is when I started learning who I truly was. But I felt like in order for me to relate, I came out of character a lot just to adapt there, because you don't understand my language outside of that. So you don't understand, you can't comprehend, and we're not relatable when I try to come to you at a higher place.
Yeah.
And I remember there was a time too, and this guy I used to talk to, he brought the worst out of me. Like every time I talked to him, he wasn't the type of guy that I could say, babe, can we sit down and let's talk? Like he was the type where you gotta go like yell, call him out his name, And when I got out that situation, I'm like, I don't ever want to deal with another person who can bring the worst out of me and who has the ability to bring me out of character.
Right.
Like, so that was something that I really hated, and I ended up making a vow to myself. Now I only want to find people, like you said at the beginning, who meets me where I'm at. Like who is like-minded, who has similar their morals, values, outlooks on life. I'm not saying we have to be exactly the same. We just need to have more in common than not.
You're right.
We need to be going somewhere. I'm okay with dealing with people who is on a higher level than me so that I can strive to go up there.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? Who can show me the way, but I don't want to deal with another person who's too far beneath where I don't want to go again.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of...
You know, I noticed, when I was younger, I hope my mom not watching this. But, the company, I wouldn't say the company. Well, it is the company. I have friends that smoke and drink. I never drunk. I was a smoker, though. You would have thought I was related to Snoop Dogg. Like, I was man, I smoked so much it ain't make no sense.
He's a chimney.
Yeah, like a chimney, yeah. And then I have friends that, skip school. I would never know skipper. Man, but one day, I just left out of school, stood on the bus stop with my guy, we smoking. Man, when my mom pull up, I said, see, this the company. Here we go. I was so embarrassed. She walked me back in school. I said, oh, man.
And most of the time, too, people won't say, hey, you don't smoke. I don't think you should do this. Yeah. They're going to encourage you to join them.
Yeah.
So they're not going to say, hey, I know you ain't a cusser. They're not going to hold you accountable to who you are. Instead, they're going to influence you to be who they are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I had more friends that, jumping from job to job. And I found myself doing that. Jumping from job to job. I'm like, y'all gotta go, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro, I can't. Nah. But once I met Jossie, she kept me on my toes.
The company you keep.
The company,
Exactly.
I'm
The company. Yes.
And I think, in all transparency, a lot of times we have people that we deal with that we probably really shouldn't deal with. And it's not saying like you're better than them, but I think we all have different priorities. We all have different standards of what we accept. One thing that I like that you said, Randy, is everybody not welcome at your crib.
Nope.
And it's not saying, that's your personal space.
Yeah.
That's your castle.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, even me and my wife, we've talked and we've had people over and we've made decisions like, they ain't coming back. And it's not that we don't like them, but I think when you start looking at the company that you keep, there's certain company you're going to let come into your living room. There's certain company you're going to let come into the bathroom. You might be having to get your makeup done or whatever it is. Like, you trust them to that degree.
Yeah.
There's some company you may even allow in other rooms within the house, and there's some you only let on the porch. You got something for me, you keep them moving. Because there's certain people where you have to understand they're not welcome in your personal space. Because when you start letting people into your personal space, that's where, for me, I realized that I can't deal with all of that. I don't want to deal with your attitudes, your problems. And I'm not saying even for the person who called me and why I didn't call them back like I'm better than them. But I think some people also want to stay in the place that they're in.
Yeah.
They don't want to change. They don't want to move forward. They're comfortable in their toxicity. They're comfortable in being in the place that they are. And you are constantly trying to coach them through it. You are constantly trying to help them, but they're not willing to move forward. They want to stay where they at. So for me, it gets me to a place of, I don't want to be bothered with you. I love you, but from a distance, because my peace is more important. My mind is more important than having to continue to go through the cycles that we continue to go through. And I think when you think about even just people in general, I think from I like the topic, a company standpoint, because some people, like, they don't deserve you.
No.
And it sound deep, it sound bad, like, we're called to serve, we're disciples for God. I'm a Christian, I love the Lord, so I'm always bringing him into it. But at the same time, you have to also know prayer can reach where I can't. I don't have to keep allowing myself to be in this place with you if you're not willing to change, if you're not willing to understand, like, I don't want to keep going through the same thing over and over and over again. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But what you said about prayer, it's like, I don't want your prayer if it's going to reach your kneecaps. If it can't go further than your kneecaps, I don't keep it.
You like,
keep
that's
that
just gonna
keep that
fall.
prayer, right?
Yeah.
Keep that, no, thank you. I'll try to reach it for myself.
I think you really finna say
Right.
something. You was so silly. You was gonna say
It was something I was gonna say, but I lost my train of thought.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like just to piggyback what you said, like I do want to, you know, I'm mindful of who I'm surrounded by. And I did find myself trying to fit in. And I was like, I think at one point in my life, I'm like, I wanted to be accepted. And I told myself, well, you know, if I become messy and, you know, do all this type of stuff, like I will have more friends. It will be more people who will like me because I'll be just like these people. But it's like, I want to be who I am. God set me apart for a reason. I'm meant to stand out, not to fit in. But then also you do want to be mindful of like just the people you are surrounded by. But I know you said in the beginning, like birds of a feather flock together. It was this one situation. Okay, I gotta agree to disagree, only because in high school I had a friend, a best friend who was doing stuff. She was, you might say, she was a thought. And that saying was real heavy back then. I'm like, I don't want people to think I get down like that because y'all got the wrong one. But I'm like, just to know, like, if a man was to ever approach me, I want to prove you wrong that I'm not like her. But I'm like, I feel like if you kind of stand on certain values, like you won't necessarily become like that. But then sometimes you can't help but to become, you know, conform to the people who you're surrounded by. Like at that point I was standing firm on my faith and standing firm on who I was, but then when I start to have this thing in the back of my mind about fitting in later in life, you know, I'm starting to transform to my environment. Mm-hmm. Because maybe I'm becoming interested in what these people are doing, you know. But yeah, I feel like it is important to make sure like you are around people who are rooted and grounded. Or even if you're doing better, I want to level up in life, so I want to be surrounded around people who are like already there.
But I also feel like so I know a person who knows a person who like because of their reputation, I don't want nothing to do with
Oh,
them.
yeah.
You know, now I'll talk to you on the phone.
Yeah.
Don't you tag me in a picture on Facebook. I don't want to be, because I don't want to be associated. Like, I know your reputation. I know the stuff that you out there doing. So for me, it's like, what up, bruh? But that's as far as it go, because there's certain things like, your character is what will stand.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's, you know, if you putting yourself, if you with a whole bunch of folks, all they do is steal, they're gonna think you a part of the problem. You a part of the theft, because that's who you always. You might not be stealing nothing.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be around that company that's gonna be dragging my name down, and I'm innocent. But when it's all said and done, because I'm around them, they thinking I'm just as
party
guilty.
to that crime.
Yeah.
That is true, because I had a situation too, like where I was hanging around people who was thotty tots. And but I'm not knocking that if that's what you choose to do. Mm-hmm. But that wasn't me. But then the issue came in is when they was dealing with dudes and they trying to get a cousin or a brother, they was coming at me reckless, and I was like, you know what? I don't want you put me in another situation where I don't want to get to know nobody that you know. Because off the gate, they think that I am going to do what you did, and that's not the case. And you will end up putting me in a bad situation based on what you do and based off their assumption because of my connection to you. Yeah. So you do have to be careful, to your point, like who you are connecting with. Sometimes your connection, you can miss out on opportunities just because of connections that you have with people. Oh, you associated with that, they automatically assume. And I can miss out on opportunities in life just because of my association. Yeah. So I think that is very important to think about. Another thing is, even when you are new to Christ, you have your friends they don't want to see you change because they are familiar with you right where you are.
Yeah.
So it's like when you are giving your life to Christ, you think that you can still exist, but then they're going to start challenging you in a way that will keep you down and say you acting different, you change, you ain't the same. In reality, we do supposed to change.
Right.
We
Exactly.
we do supposed to evolve, we do supposed to level up, but you making me feel guilty for being a better person.
Mm-hmm.
You making me feel guilty for living a lifestyle that I don't want to live anymore. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You making me feel guilty because I want more out of life.
Yeah.
You know, I have friends like that. You know, when I got married, my friends just started, just going, each way. I'm like, damn, y'all don't mess with me no more. But, it was always a saying, with some of my friends. That's probably not my friends no more. I don't care if they can't with me. They always say, bros over, excuse my language, bros over hoes. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I was on that heavy. I'm like, all right, bet. Bro, I can't do that, bro. We can't have no sausage fest. I'm not trying to hang around y'all 24/7. No, bro. It's just like, I'm trying to level up and do my thing too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you don't want to be my friend? I'll holler at you, man.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that. There was one piece I wanted to piggyback on, and I think a lot of times being around people who hold you accountable, I think is important.
Yeah.
Where you can get feedback from somebody and grow. Like, shout out to my boy Vince. He was checking me this morning about something. I said, dude, you always trying to tell somebody what to do. But I think sometimes if you don't have somebody that will hold you accountable, that's going to tell you, bro, you wrong. Like, that don't make sense. You're not thinking clearly. I don't want to be surrounded by yes men or yes women that's going to always say yes, always just encourage you regardless of like, take a couple steps back and, think about that, like make it make sense.
Yeah.
I think even when you focus on the people that we have surrounded by us, what are they doing like to make you better? What influences are they having on you? How are they changing your behavior, good, bad, or indifferent, to make sure like you're challenging yourself to be a better person? I think that's why it's important when we say birds of a feather flock together. I'm speaking more or less on a higher level of individuals that are like-minded, but at the same time, they're striving to do better, and hopefully it pulls you up when they go. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I know now in my adult years, I'm definitely like, if your character does mean a lot, it pulls weight. It says a lot about, that's just who you are. Your character speaks volume. It's important to protect your character. So if it's anybody who I'm like, yeah, I stay away from people. Like, I can, even if I observe you being messy or something, I don't deal with messy people because you're not about to put my name in nothing.
Yeah.
I don't do drama. I'm too old. So it's like, if I see that you messy and no thank you.
Your name can get dragged in something.
Exactly.
I remember, girl, I got so many stories, okay? Girl, I got so many stories. So there was a time too. This girl was talking about this other girl, and I didn't say nothing. I just was listening. Literally, like, I'm being honest. I just only listened. But guess what she did?
Said your name.
She flipped that thing, and everything she said, I said it. So I was like, girl, why would you do that? Like,
Right.
I only listened to you. Those were every word that came out of your mouth. But she went back. But that's the thing. Sometimes you gotta shut your ear to hear listening to certain things.
Oh,
You know what I'm
yes.
saying?
You talking good because I done got so petty. I just be deleting folks on Facebook. You make a status I don't like. I'm like, you know what? This your page. I ain't got to read this nonsense. I don't even want to be bothered with it. Delete. And then it'd be like people you may know. I don't know them. Don't want to know them. Delete. Because it's for real. Like, social media also plays a part in our lives, and that's a part of the company that we keep. You reading they drama. You reading they
that's so
garbage.
good.
And as I was looking at some stuff, I'm like, I don't want to read this. I don't want to read this. And I just started deleting people.
Yeah.
And then they'd be like, we ain't friends no more on Facebook. Really? When that happened? Something must have happened. I
Facebook
deleted
be
you.
tripping.
But now they finna know you.
It is.
Right, they finna go check their page. Right. He deleted me.
But go read what you wrote. Because some of the
Yeah.
stuff is like you just don't want it in your spirit. And then you just, even like, I can't wait for election season to be over.
Yeah.
You know, because even with something like that, that's a person. I was at the gym this morning, and literally they in the sauna going ham about who voting for this person and you wrong. It's your opinion.
Oh, my
you can
goodness.
vote for whoever you want to vote for.
It's private.
Right.
That's why they got the ballots.
Exactly.
It's private. Yeah.
And to me, that goes back to who are you hanging around? Like, and I told the guy, like, bro, this supposed to be a relaxation time. Yeah. Take that out there.
Okay.
You know, and he looked at me like I was crazy, but I'm paying a nice fee to be up here at this gym. I need you to move around because I don't want to be a part of all of that. You know, who I vote for is my business. I don't care who y'all vote for. That's your business. And
Exactly.
and you can still have somebody that you cool with and love them the same, but that's totally their decision.
Right,
you know?
Right. You know, that goes back with Jossie and her old friends. You know, look. No, she used to always think like I'm getting mad because she, you know, hanging around these certain friends. But I peep stuff. I'm like, bro, your friends ain't right. And sure enough, down the line they wasn't right. I'm like, see, you gonna learn to listen to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, she like, nah, you just don't want me hanging. No, bro, I'm telling you, please don't bring them up here.
We don't
bring them
ever
to
want
my
to
house.
listen to the voice of reason.
Yeah.
Like we don't.
No,
And
like
she tried to invite her over to the house. Please don't bring them. No, don't bring them to me.
Yeah.
yeah, it
I'm
be people.
gonna-
He
I'm
like,
gonna tell
I don't like them. I'm like,
Yeah.
you don't like nobody. But yeah,
And she just got this text on Instagram. One of her old friends. I'm like, didn't I tell you she wasn't right? Mm-hmm. See,
yeah.
I peep stuff.
I would say, yeah. I'm more open to listening to him now because your spouse is typically like your eyes out. You know, they're your eye gates, your blind spot. So it's like it may be things I can't see, but then they see, and it's like you may not see right then and there, and you may be like they tripping or they lying or I don't know, I don't see it. But later down the line, you could be like, oh, now I see what they talking about.
Exactly.
But it's like, you know, sometimes you just gotta see before you just be like, okay, well, I'm gonna cut this person off. But I'd rather like back up and then try to like look at the bigger picture, but it always come out. But that's why I learned to also guard my heart because, you know, when you allow people in your personal space, excuse me, a lot of people don't be right and genuine. So, and that's how I got hurt from like friendships because it's like I'm allowing them so deep in here. And it's like I still love my current friends, but I also learned to guard my heart a little bit because I can't let you hurt me like I allow. So yeah. That's like off the subject a little bit, but I thought that went with it.
Preaching.
I agree with that. I mean, like for me, I love the company that I keep. You know, this bae right here. Literally the other day, she gonna beat me up for this. I was a little heavy and just dealing with some stuff, and I went to the store. And I came home, Bae had a full-blown revival going in the house. I mean, and I felt like the presence of God when I walked in. And she was just talking to our Father. I think it's, you know, those things that I can say, like, I appreciate. I prayed to have someone like her that would bring that spirit into our home, that gives that peace, that gives that refreshing. So I think like when you think about that, even with the people that you are intimate with, you know, like it's important to think about that type of company. Do you want that spirit connected to you? Do you want that attitude? Because here's my thing. I done been around some people. There was this chick I worked with at my job, and her and her baby daddy literally seemed like they was into it every day. Old girl came to work, and at this time I was working. I ain't gonna say what I was doing, but I was in the office, and I came in, and I'm just like, "Good morning, good morning," and I'm like, "What's wrong with you?" And then I'm hearing her on the phone with her baby daddy, and I'm like, the customers come in, then they feel that negative energy, and I'm like, y'all gotta figure this stuff out because our customers shouldn't have to deal with this because of what you're dealing with at home, right?
Exactly.
And it's easy to say leave it at the door, but you can't leave it at the door all the time because you carry that stuff with you. But it literally is the people that you allow in your personal space where it's that constant toxicity where you can't move forward.
Yeah.
You know, and I agree with that because I you know, my last job I was at, and I don't care if they watch it because I'm friends with them. You know, I had a supervisor, and every day he just came in with this negative energy. And I told one of my other guys, they're like, "Bro, what's wrong with dude, man? He always coming in, you know, on his period." And I asked him, "What's up, bro? Is you on your period or something? You on your period today?" You know, and then payday come around, y'all, Jolly, what up, y'all? No.
Yeah. Because you would shift with them.
And
You
the
know,
whole
when
day.
they happy, now I'm happy. When they on one, I'm on one. Like you begin to shift with that environment that you in. Like I remember too, it was a job. I'm like everybody was into it with their man. I was like, when everybody into it with their man, guess what I'm doing?
Into with you.
Trying to go start stuff. I'm sorry, babe, but we were dating at the time, and because of all of the negativity and all this complaining, now it's shaped. Like now, my mind is full of everything that they going through, what they saying about they man, and now I'm making a
So that's
problem.
why we was getting into it.
Sometimes, babe. And sometimes I would make a problem with we wasn't living together at the time, but I would make an issue for no reason. But it was because and then when everybody on good terms, now it's making me feel like I want to be back in love again. You know, like, and I'm like, you really do have to set yourself apart, not allow what you're around, because sometimes you have to exist in them places. But how you gonna handle yourself when you do? Can you still remain who you are, true to who you are? Can you still remain in character? Like even when you in situations that is not likable, that's not pleasurable. You know, like to be in, because I had to learn. I did eventually learn that with the job, because but I had to make up my mind. I cannot keep doing this because now it feels like I'm on this emotional ride with everybody else here. So now I'm like, I can't keep existing like this because it's overwhelming for me, and this is not me. So when I start making a choice every day, I just start practicing not to fall into the negative energy, still remain positive when everybody else mad, still keeping a smile on my face when everybody else frowning.
You know, I going back to
in there for me.
Going back to when Josh used to work at that one place. You know, we had one car at the time, and you know, I feel like the vibe was off at that place. And she used to come to the car every time I pick her up. What's that smell? What's this? What's that? Like, hold on. You might want to take that energy back in that place you work at.
You're right.
You know?
And you'll be
shit,
realizing that you picking that up.
And she'll bring it all the way home. Why is the house like this? I was at work too. What are you talking about? I don't know. Why is the wall like this? It's a wall. I don't know. Like, come on, man. I'm about to jump you back off. You got
No, for him, since you want to keep talking about me, story time. So he used to deal with anger, right? Oh, bashite. So he used to deal with anger, and he was delivered. So he was worked on his anger. Then he started hanging around this specific person, and all of a sudden, it was like these little, his little attitude or anger. I don't know. He just started acting angry again. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? I was like, that's who you're hanging around somebody. And I said, as soon as he came into your life, now all of a sudden you got all these attitudes, and now I'm starting to see like old behaviors pick up, and I'm like, he gotta go. I said, because you went years with doing good. I'm like, if you go pick this back up, we can't be together, honey, because I ain't finna be in a toxic environment because your attitude, and we gonna go toe to toe, okay? Because auntie got a little mouthpiece, but I learned to shut up too. But that's off topic. But no, it's because like when you bringing that home, you creating that environment, and then it's like now I'm gonna go to the environment too, and it's like I don't like toxicity. I don't like to argue. I don't like to go back and forth. So when I start noticing, like I'm like, this is this person, but then when he cut him off, he realized like, oh, like, because that person deal with anger, so it's like now because you deal with this, your spirit, I feel like you kind of more open to fall back into that because that was something that you originally struggled with, and now you're around somebody who battles with that, and now you're starting to pick back up those old behaviors. So it's just like if I was like a alcoholic and, you know, I get free from it, I can't hang around people who drink because I may be prone to falling back into those habits. So like it is important to make sure like you're not hanging around people who can tempt you or expose you to old behaviors that you no longer want to be in or environments. So yeah.
You know, that's going back to my old job. I ain't finished because my sister over here started talking. And she took over, you know. No, but you know, going back to that, you know, I asked him like, bro, you on your period? You know, and he got all rowdy with me. Like, don't do that, because I'm just asking a question. I'm trying to make a calm environment. You know, through the whole day, man, we'd be tussling with people, putting people in handcuffs. I'm like, bro, what you gonna do next? Draw your gun? And he told me to go home. I said, okay. So I'm like, okay, all right, the company we keep. Here we go. But I ain't go home though. I ain't go home.
So what happened?
So what happened with that?
Yeah, so you said like the company we keep.
The company, it's like the whole environment. We start acting like him, you know. We all start acting like him, for real.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's the company. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that.
Bro,
And we thank y'all for tuning in.
it's okay. You a little
We
nervous.
thank y'all for tuning in. We hope you're having a blessed day. We done. Hello, man.
No, I'll say this though. That's real. Like, especially in your work environment, because I worked for a company in retail for a long time, and we had this one manager. He ain't on social media, so I'll talk about him. Where we literally would be chasing people out the store with fire extinguishers, and they still in like big roll, or they still in, you know, a candy bar. But dude was so serious about protecting his profit for his bonus. Like, we had stuff behind, no, for real, like we had stuff behind the register, and I turned into like, and I wasn't about to do nothing, but I'm taking carts outside, throwing them at the cars.
Oh, dang.
And finally I realized, like, I worked third shift one night, right? And everybody was gone. It was just me and the cashier. Well, these folks came back to the store. I went in the office and hid.
After throwing the card.
And I realized, you know, when you around certain people, you start doing stupid stuff. When it's all said and done, I don't care what they stole out that store, right? It ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm still getting my check regardless, but I was doing ignorant stuff, like trying to get the stuff back when my life could have been on the line over stupidity. No, for real. Like, we was throwing carts. We had fire extinguishers spraying at people. We knew where the cameras was in the store, so when the police would come, they would say what happened. We only showed what they did. We didn't show what the employees did.
Wow.
Like, we was the Wild Wild West at this store. But real talk, like, it was ignorance on my part. I realized that night, I'm about to get whooped. Everybody's gone. You know? All the employees gone, the security guards gone, and it's me and the cashier. And I saw these fellas come back. I'm in the office like, Father God, in the name of Jesus. Because it's real life. Like, you got to be careful and not letting people make you make stupid choices. And that manager, like, he didn't care. And he was serious.
Oh my goodness. I would love to have seen that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's so funny.
Yeah, terrible.
Wow.
My cheeks hurt. But yes, y'all, look at us all way over time. But it's okay, it's the season finale. But y'all, we I think this was a really good episode. My jaws.
Right.
I'm like, dog, like, it's the car thrown for me and fire extinguisher. They're gonna go high. Like, what? But we got a song that y'all go catch on. So we gonna see if they can match the energy. Remember? Thank you for tuning in to the season finale. A broken now revive. A broken now revive. A broken now revive. A broken now revive. Thank you for tuning in to the season finale. A broken now revive.
A broken now revive.
A broken now revive. A broken now revive. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We hope that you enjoyed this episode of The Company You Keep. Hopefully this help you to just self-evaluate and see like who's in your circle, where you're trying to go in life. Is the people around you lining up to where you're trying to go, or are they pulling you down or keeping you stuck where you're currently at? But okay, y'all, any last words from anyone?
Any more stories?
No.
I need to laugh some more.
We had enough.
Come on, Randy, let's take it out. A broken now revive. broken now revive. Broken now revive. Peace.
Hey,
Peace, y'all.
I'll let you, man.